Hey everybody, Tabitha here from Tabitha Explores, taking you on our next RV adventure in southeastern Arizona together. So this video is Colossal Cave Mountain Park. There are a couple of different caves / caverns in southeastern Arizona. One of them is Kartchner Caverns. I unfortunately did not get there. It is one of the state parks in Arizona, but they have some limitations with regards to their caverns. You are not permitted to even take your phone camera, anything into the caverns when you do a tour. And it does cost, I think, around 23 USD to do the tour. I did really intend to get there, but it just ended up running out of time, so I didn't do it. And it also, I wouldn't have been able to share it with you because of their really strict restrictions. So instead, I did go to Colossal Cave Mountain Park, which is kind of northeast of Tucson. And they do allow full, pictures, video, whatever you want to do on your tour. It was also around $23, $24 to do the tour. And it was a really great tour. Aaron was a great guide taking us through the caves. It was really interesting to learn about the rocks in the caves and different things about it. There's been movies filmed there and all that sort of thing. Even Sesame Street was filmed in this cave. So kind of a really neat place to explore. I would definitely put it on the go-to list if you're heading to southeastern Arizona, the Tucson area, because it's a really fun trip. You learn about caves, you learn about all the things. Just be aware that at some times of the year there are a lot of bats in the caves. There were no bats when I was there, so I was grateful for that. But the guides say that they have bats in the cave all the time. So there's other animals you can spot. We didn't spot anything while we were in there. So yeah, that was a really fun day, checking out the caves, and I kind of stumbled across it on the day that I was headed to Saguaro National Park. I kind of came across it and thought about going in, but I wouldn't have been able to get a tour right away. I would have had to wait around for a tour, and because I had the plan for Saguaro, I didn't stick around for that, but I did book a tour ahead of time when I did go. If you're there at a busier time of year, definitely book your tour ahead and show up 15-20 minutes before your tour starts. I booked a tour and got there about 15 minutes ahead. No, I got there an hour ahead because the tours were an hour apart, and I knew that I had a long drive to get there, so I just didn't want to risk it. And I thought, well, if I do get there in time for the earlier tour, maybe I can switch. And it was not a problem because they were not full. If they are full, don't expect to be able to show up and just get on a tour. So definitely book ahead so that you get your the tour time that you want, and you don't have to sit around and wait. So I hope you like this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff, and we will see you in the next video. All right. Why do I say that? I always say all right. Okay, let's get going here. So I am on my way to Colossal Cave Mountain Park, and I have booked a cave tour. It is $24 plus tax, but there was a point where it said enter your coupon, so I googled a coupon and I got $5 off, so end up paying $20 or $19 plus tax. I think it was 21 something, so not so bad, a little bit better. And I'm gonna go do this cave tour and check it out. It apparently has lots of good views and I can take pictures and all that fun stuff.
In a quarter mile, keep left to continue on East Colossal Cave Road.
So I'm going to check it out. My reservation is for a little over an hour from now. I don't know if I can get on the earlier one. If I can't, they have a little cafe there so I can buy a coffee and sit and read my book and look out at the beautiful scenery that they have here, and that will be fine with me. And let's go check it out together. Yeah, it's warmer as soon as you step in, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty much like flipping a switch, huh? It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, it's warm in here.
And we'll kind of just hang out right here for a second. If you guys look up over here, you'll see a lot of difference in coloring up here as well. This is theorized to be smoke staining. Left behind by our first ever visitors. They were known as the Hohokam Native American people. Came through here back around 900 AD. Mostly just using this room for storage and migration purposes. Not really living in here for long periods of time. Wanted to tell you guys about the guy who really made an effort to save this place back in the day. His name was Frank Schmidt. He was originally from Germany, moves out here to Arizona around the year 1920, and he buys the mining rights to this place after seeing everybody destroying it. From then onward, he's pretty much the only guy working here, and for 25 cents, you guys could come down here with him. He would give you guys a candle and a rope, and you guys would just explore this place with him all day. Never any time limits either, right? Let's say you're down here for 8 hours with Frank. Finally, you go up to him and you're like, hey man, we've been stuck down here forever. Is it okay if we leave? He'd sort of just look at you guys and say, I'm going to keep exploring. Just go back the way you came. I hope you don't get lost. And that's just sort of how it would have worked back then. Now you skip forward. He works here as a tour guide up until the age of 84 years old. Passes away 1 year after that at the age of 85 back in the year 1955. So yeah, we all really love Frank here. Without him, the cave wouldn't look anything like the way it does right now. Sort of like what you were saying, our floors as well, right? So it might blow your minds. These aren't natural floors we're walking on. In fact, back when these tours first started, right where we're standing, there would have roughly been about a 30-foot drop underneath us. So all this stuff, all the staircases, railings, walkways, all this stuff was done by a group called the CCC in the mid-1930s. And I wanted to see if any of you guys could take a wild guess at what CCC might stand for.
Civilian Conservation.
Boom, put it right here. Boom. Now this area is pretty cool. This is called Frank's living room, the little gift shop outside of the cave. Back in the day, that used to be Frank's house. That's where him and his family would have lived. No air conditioning though, super hot summers. Why not just use the year-round 71-degree cave right outside your front door, right? It's exactly what they would do. They'd come down this little patch of rocks. This is called Frank's Shortcut. Doesn't really look like much right now, but you'll see more of that later. Just keep that in the back of your mind. They come down from the top of those rocks. They bring down with them board games, card games, sometimes even small tables. And they would set them all up in this area down here. Sometimes they would stay down here for upwards of 6 days in a row, which I think is kind of crazy. It's kind of like the first ever man cave. You guys see that? Right?
Yeah.
I know you like that one. Come on, give me one. Now, before we head down this way, I just wanted to point out this little staircase over here. That's the deepest point in the cave that we know of, at the very bottom. A little bit over 70 feet underground relative to where we started. So you have to imagine, back when there was water in this cave, this is where all that water would have pooled up. So we're kind of going to be walking through an old prehistoric riverbed, if you think about it that way. Pretty cool. On the other side, I'm going to introduce you to a buddy of mine named Bone Crusher. Giant rock hanging down in the middle of the walkway. Just try not to walk straight into it. He's broken 3 tour guides' noses.
Wow.
But then you'd rappel down to the bottom and you'd set up your camp for the day down there in the living room with Frank. Now, one last really cool thing I've got to show you guys. Do you guys remember Fang, that stalactite that I smacked earlier? Made some noise. These guys make noise too, and I want to show you what they sound like. So I'm just going to slide in front of you real quick. Take a listen to this guy.
Oh, I like that better.
Sounds super nice, right? They almost sound hollow. They're not hollow. They're made of completely pure calcite crystal. It gives them this nice ability to reverberate sound. Very similar if you've ever seen those videos with the crystal bowls where they rub the spoon around the bowl. Starts vibrating. Same concept going on here. Depending on where they're at, they'll make different sounds. This guy sounds a lot more deep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you guys want to hear the best sounding one in the whole cave?
Yeah.
Sweet. What was your name?
Marcia.
Marcia, could you help me out with this one?
Sure.
Cool. Steal this for me real quick. See that one hanging right over there? Go give him a whack real quick.
This one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Wait.
More on the back side. Kind of hard. A little harder. A little lighter. I'm joking, it doesn't. Yeah, I'm sorry, Marcia. I had to do it.
She's gonna get you.
Yeah,
That's like a Viking head.
Yeah, there you go.
That makes
It's
one
other arms,
down.
Steve.
Yeah,
It's going down.
there you go. No, if there's too much limestone around the base, they can dampen the noise. There's this whole cave in Virginia. It's called Luray Caverns. They have an organ piano. They'll hook it up to the stalactites based off the pitch they make, so you can like play music off the cave walls itself.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty sweet stuff.
Where's
right?
that? In Virginia?
Virginia. I think it's right outside of a town called Luray as well.
Okay.
So, but yeah, pretty cool stuff.
I
Now,
remember that.
before we start heading back up to the top, just wanted to thank you guys all for coming out here with me today. You guys are a super fun group. I will say, if you guys have any other questions, comments, or maybe better jokes for me to tell, I'll be hanging out up at the top. So, don't be shy.
Well, I had a lot of fun in Colossal Cave Mountain Park, enjoying the cave tour with Eric. It was a great and fun tour. And yeah, everybody was really sweet to me, letting me go first so that I could record everything without having too many people in front of me. So that was really sweet. A couple of them asked about my YouTube channel, so that was really fun as well. And now I'm off to maybe do some more exploring. I didn't really think much about going into the cave or being claustrophobic, and really didn't bother me in any way. A couple points where you can actually look way down into the depths of the cave, and you know, you kind of get, so there was a lady behind me that it got to her with being
Continue straight onto East Old Spanish Trail.
afraid of heights, but it didn't really, I don't know, it didn't really bother me too much. And definitely
Continue on East Old Spanish Trail for 7 miles.
and definitely the being in a cave didn't bother me too much. I don't know, it just didn't seem to be an issue, so that's good. Now I know that I can enter caves without issues. Not that I really had a thought that I would be fearful, but it was good. Yeah, it was a good tour. It was, like I said, I think $24 to go in. I found an online coupon, so I got $5 off. They do ask you to tip your tour guide at the end, so, you know, I gave him that $5, and hopefully that should be enough, right? That's 25% of what I paid, so 20% of the actual cost, so I think that's good. He was entertaining and had lots of really bad dad jokes, but you know, it was good. It was entertaining. I enjoyed it. So now I'm off to explore somewhere new, and we'll see what we see. Maybe we'll see if we get there. Yeah, good day so far. Really good day so far.